You are wasting your time with grammar books if you are not using your own kitchen to practice speaking English every day. Today, we are following Ria on her journey as she makes her very first roti while learning the exact English words for every step. By the end of the story, you will have a brand new vocabulary that you can use while cooking for your family every single morning. Ria stood in the kitchen with her mother, feeling a bit nervous about the task of making a perfect round roti for the first time. Her mother looked at her and said the first important step is that you must knead the dough until it is ready. To knead means to press and stretch the flour and water mixture with your hands until it becomes very soft and smooth. Ria worked hard and kneaded the dough until it felt perfect under her fingers, just like her mother had shown her many times before. The next step sounds simple but takes a lot of practice. She had to make a small, round dough ball between her palms. In many homes, we call this a loaf, but in English, you should call it a dough ball to be understood by everyone. Once the ball was ready, it was time for the hardest part of the whole process, which requires a lot of focus and steady hands. Ria took her rolling pin and carefully started to roll out the dough into a nice, round shape on the wooden board. If you have ever tried this, you know that making a perfect circle is much harder than it looks for a beginner. She had to be very gentle so the dough did not stick to the rolling board or accidentally tear into small, messy pieces. Next, she moved to the stove and placed the flat dough onto a hot griddle, which we often call a tawa in the kitchen. She watched it closely, waiting for the color to change and for tiny bubbles to appear on the top surface of the bread. After waiting for just a few seconds, she carefully flipped the roti over to cook the other side for a short moment. Flipping is a quick motion where you turn the food over so both sides get the same amount of heat and cook evenly. But here was the big challenge: would her roti actually rise, or would it stay flat and hard like a dry cracker? Ria picked up the roti with her metal tongs and held it directly over an open flame for the very final step. This is called roasting, and it is where the magic happens as the heat makes the bread expand and grow very quickly. Suddenly, the roti began to fill with hot air and puffed up beautifully, looking just like a little white balloon on the stove. A puffed up roti is the sign of a job well done and shows that the dough was kneaded with great care and patience. Ria's mother smiled with pride and told her she had finally mastered the art of making the perfect, fluffy and delicious roti. Not only did Ria make a great meal, but she also learned important action words like knead, flip, and roast during the process. Using these words while you are actually doing the actions is the fastest way to make English stick in your brain forever. Learning a new language does not have to happen at a desk. It can happen right there at your kitchen table while you cook. Check out the next video on your screen to keep growing your English vocabulary with more fun stories just like this one.